So mpomuye yede nyame ase pa nsam no doso enti me ehase from first the chaos that happened a parliament na afiyenhwe the stance of the and also the pronouncement of the Speaker of Parliament. And they say lawyers na wahante na de yebeko school pa na afi yahwe the stance of the New Patriotic Party krata omo de beto abonten na yenhwe eho ense mame hase mfafiri hono.
But I say, my mencha on offer na mencha what here for you na baby or fidie or can be and can near the share free Quabre East mencha o munyana. Na and come with the did say Ghana for you na will be any myself. Na over the years I've had cause to complain say Parliament and the Quayom Faso your money maybe. Emma one casate or money munyama ye wabonten them our monaso. Omumu die ni omumu duro no omo ane maybe the actions and inactions emma ehwan so emma said ye hu omo no enye saa na omo ankasa bombra no kure ne se parliament no enye omanyuku no ye mienu anase mra ne hye se wo be join ne minority and majority no se etie bia ye kokos ne de ye kokos no obi anso on agenda is to fight political power na mo ye adwuma ne de eye den mo benya dissenting opinion we dey na ma but that is where the maturity should reign. You do it such that we agree to disagree. Ye ade we yente ye ho ase na so kwan ya ye be fa so a ye be sasa adwene ne akwa akohia bankuro mu no eno na kire sebe sede mo anyini afa wo mo dwumadie mu eno so over the years, from the 8th Parliament to the 9th Parliament, the year who is say, no kureni, ye teaching na ye saw we hold them in high esteem. No, ye thought that no mama, ye says if
but Obeka say you call that Parliament, our jurisdictions are more two boy be a two, it will be two a year. Friend is saying tear gas is no meaning be to two be. These are housed that for debate and some of these things.
A Congress that or who be House of Lords that or who be
Debbie.
Into be I say about be doors are there usually preku.
That's right.
Into usually no usually.
You should be
and yeah baby I will be a sebe or no. Na Bangladesh for to a bob to almost anyway and on a be standard. And on team standards. Anyway. Because I see a papa ni na you bet me I disagree. That's fair enough.
Okay.
But to extend that it turns it degenerate into fiscal violence and no kureni in pay.
All right.
And and second and emphasize about the earlier they do it, the almost some money and the better.
All right. Now, you can say, the speaker, I'm saying a year in the ginger no case, as a Moses or Koji, I in ransom do not better no more, some bosom no see any, would jabbo who pay now, no so can some say 2 weeks.
Is he speaker home? I don't know. Power koni trimama. Nensanke kanen and near my yebi. Oh, that is. We share a free teaching, me number 3. Me say it's all, the arrogance of power na I can. To me be show munu anhwe ya. To me no be control. Instead say who be control to me the ideas or the to me mum na control no. Nti right from enye me nwanwa so cancer say
enye nwanwa
me banwa ba akoko. Na obi a was the Supreme Court. I can't say more the Supreme Court as there. No so yeah. Nti enye me nwanwa so bitimi akasa asem ne say omo was suspend them. Na secondary school headmaster kura say assemsi nearly students be a one year. On form go discipline committee as an over now why are you behaving this way?
Anyway.
Speaker of Parliament and a lawyer of also. And yes, the way speaker be a hag can you have a I dare back as a speaker at Tiasi and say, one, he is not a member of Parliament.
Yeah.
He is only an empire. He's a leader of the Parliament, but not a member. Na enunti and a to abakra when you coins what to be no. And Russian say, oh, your to about one come. But Ram Makwan, my first and second deputy speaker, to have a casting vote in case of tie. A chess of monomy members of Parliament.
Okay.
Committee be or Parliament be a committee of Parliament, not committee of speaker. NC will lose sight of the fact, which I know he knows, because being a parliamentarian for all these years and being Speaker of Parliament for a second term there, you cannot tell me you don't know these things. They are not a committee of the Speaker. They are committee of Parliament, and there are systems in place so will be violating the orders of Parliament, and as will be bringing Parliament into disrepute, and as will be a contempt Parliament in anywhere. Your kwanya yefa so ayede saafo ne fa so enu nyina nso mmra na ahyehyɛ said the mmra ma kwan sɛ wo na be speaker o ye number 3 o de bɔ no saafo hene no saa mmra na nso akyerɛ kwan a so obi fom wɔ parliament a ye de nipa ne fa so. You first have to invite the person to the privileges committee, and you see it's not for nothing ɛna nyankopɔn bɛto Adam ne Eve obusa wɔn sɛ na duaba ya meka sɛ mu ni bi adan nam kodie on the ball wiase o no unim de omo aye ba obeduru obisa ne sɛ adan na wakodi duaba bi ɔso oba no ɛna ti duaba no. You know what God did. Oba ne to aso ko bisa oba ne sɛ duaba meka sɛ ni bi adan na wadi bi ati bi ama okuno ɔso wo no ɔkɔ wo no ko bisa ne sɛ adan na wo yesa. So it's a natural justice which nobody can violate ever.
And they cry or say so your bonia obebu akonta obefra begina ni no busebusa osintia oyoye
entina e kokoto in the course of cross examination lawyer bia no obebusa question oni answer
ti answer no obebusa question no oni answer
na
a question answer and yet the old bema
no when the question is a kwan yes of so answer na so oni answer to the question
anyway
enti say o musa question abra oni answer.
Okay,
it cannot never happen.
Okay,
opi obebusa question bia ni answer no. Okay, enti bibia no obi abotu and yem fan so ye gina ha animu ha Kessben animu ha full glare of the people no obi atwito pepe or the bo obi a ye de ko police station de ko gina court adu unim say the friend a friend suspect
onye obibuso wo hu se was hu se
we obi ani tua so want the two no your friend is suspect. Okay, you know wo yemra your constitution no no under article 19 no o say obi enipa bia no yem presume say ye do gina mra no mu a udi bem enkopim say obeje wafo bu atum ana say odi o toto ano no kwaduboni no betimi a kire pefe say odi fo ame abu fo no udi bem enti saafo no de course nyina no in the spirit of natural justice. There's all more kwan no face panel disciplinary committee. There's no crowd omo ye wi a or the sanctions appropriately at their mom. Now sanction no crowd no it is in strata is in category. Okay. The first misbehavior, I think you go for 4 days suspension. So your second offender, you go for 1 week or so. Oma one also 2 weeks. To be better nowadays, suspend will be 2 weeks. Who not do be by parliament, no suspend 2 weeks.
Anyway,
and they are not your committee. They are the committee of parliament, and the committee of parliament and also Emran also say first deputy speaker should chair that committee. So if anything at all, that sanction should have been even mentioned by Senka. First deputy speaker mentions our sanctions now, because on the theatre before my very eyes you did this. Canon pono krana and can say no there. Ebia ebufu shiumu in or the kind kebe fanza. Now do 2 fear na taste say na cause na wo TV. Na de chin na ba as ma suspend will be 2 weeks. Wo gina mra beso. No,
that is the question I busa. Mrabe no
gina so or they suspend on kire ye mra na nyina nkan bi. Na ye hu se parliament no. Wo ye enyambra sem bia na wo ya ade bia emfa ta ewo speaker ni so ha. Wo timi unilaterally summarily obetimi a suspend 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month. Say nka obi amempa wasem no mehwe animu a me so kasa no crowd team mu dodo must suspend 1 year. Nine 10 year old
but from this angle say before the 8th parliament, and I say 8th parliament not one a speaker, there was an issue of Odani a four issues running through Odani seats of some parliamentarians. And also yes, only locus. Emma echo court, Emma court a ruling. Now the same speaker, who is the speaker of the 9th parliament, Asaku make another pronouncement which is also against the law per what we are discussing now. Ebasa, how do we view the leadership and then the speakership of a year parliament? Send a man for whom?
You see, at the first time, me catch will be as the oil, the Kwanso,
Okay.
And the yarding.
Or done it for sitting.
Oh, Naman and the yarding. Now, so a politics, no way.
Okay. Until only the yarding.
Oh, yeah, I say, I'm a Tiwanka may.
Okay.
I would have done same.
Okay.
If it were new to the fortunes of my political power, why wouldn't I do it?
Even though, say,
More than
in a way.
when people for the 138. And then this year 137. And you got to about 137 and also 138. Now who calls them?
Okay.
And all the Wako be the Aquachan or two will be via and I
see.
Eti Obabenya speaker ni di no. Na so ye de beboa ama ne party no enye to me or be frustrating government business or be frustrating. When we say there were Supreme Court appointees be or they never had opportunity to be vetted. Yes. Because of these frustrations. To extend that the mini budget of parliament or frustrating yama edru hon na fe omunya space gra munya be bi mfanche. And he did what he ought to have done for his to inure to his political party. Satan na Ghana no odwene ho. But na ya na political party awani over where million wasabe speaker. Nanka we are expecting senko beto to niema kama no. He is behaving as if he is still at the opposition working for the benefit of the political party.
I see.
And that is where the whole young one. Because at first time there, say I mean put na mete wan kama ye no ye na. Mekata mani we minima de krona ma ye we wo de ba mente ase sa pata pasa na de namu. Na o party no government in power no sofa na the fortune say dwindle na o party gain. Emu an wo de abenya de wanya ya overwhelming victory a omanya majority and now speaker. Yes. Why na dwuma aboa no but the waduro die obi nti no won kan kire na say woni opposition bi mu ye ne wa ban mu a ye bu oman no enti the obey bia make sure it is in accordance with law hwehu say ene mra asisi ni kwan so emfa wakoma ne emotions and take decisions for the people of Ghana.
I see.
You should work rationally. That's all day and this is the time you should have composure, the demeanor, a warranting leadership. I'll be to me, I'll bring everybody on board because and the majority were 88 seats, a minority, and the majority were 183 or 184, whatever it is. Do you feel that in Parliament as they are working now?
No.
So it tells you that it's not necessarily the number, but it is the quality of the people you put out there and the quality of job they do.
Okay.
And you bet me I 200 seats. You bet me now nipa by 75 will be a better. Out of all 75 or 200 no, they will always override you because almost the air margin so no the mrabe juma. No more juma wa ne kwaso in good faith. Time be wow, person who does way no. You can never have your way. Companies say patapapi to them run never. And he said you cannot have your way. Any day say or no there. Or no the old person or the wakuma no wajene no and there. No. You have to be in accordance with law. To do patapaya no. No being so them no. It will inure to the okutamrano.
I see.
At every point in time. And until now, who say 88 in the doors, so 183.
I see. Right. That is the posture of the speaker. Will you suggest and I say makes it Winston court and I say they can deal this one our parliament? They should use the standing office.
It is the speaker of parliament that must eat a humble pie.
No, I'm not be accepted.
No, I say the leadership will go on concrete.
Okay.
On back what leader, majority, minority, chief whips, and all that. Together with speaker and the deputy speakers. Omunyina abeko edem akudin komo speaker we die ahande wato apa emra ne se ni se na kire standing orders ni nti o no he na agina ya oye de oye nti we die akura maka menwe adwobre o enkrofo na am suspend o no ma reverse or whatever it is and now omomra o mo adwuma because you cannot suspend anybody arbitrarily in that manner. Okay. Can't be never suspend them. Especially so you haven't heard the person. Under no circumstances can you condemn a man without being heard. It can never happen. It doesn't matter what the person has done and the evidence thereof. What de man kwan no mechere na semu. Yesi wo veti no mu no. O peja akonwa. Wo de anim go ase aka parliament. O kire mu sen. O kana sem wie na antomo asomu a na asotwe bi wo ho a then you go to the sanctions column and there obi di bone even your criminal code no. Bone bia ye de bebo charge bia ho asotwe eda ho. Edi asotwe na eda ho you cannot do otherwise. Say catch say will be defile will be a minimum sentence is 7 years, maximum is 15 years. A judge cannot do otherwise. A judge cannot give you 6 years.
Okay.
Neither can he give you say wedding in mama 30 years.
No. I see.
You should always work within the law. And this Emrane say even with the first offender, a man 4 days, you will be 1 week near whatever the sanctions are, then you apply them. But you won't say na kitty. Now I have suspended them.
All right. Any lawyer George Oppong and Edin Kuyatren say the lawyer Safuduku Babe Kayensa na afe yatwaso and so edifro. But you move on to the next one afe yenhwe. There's this trend. And they minim se shashu sa shasye na yatwaso. The Attorney General's disinterest in continuing cases and the high-profile cases against former government appointees. Yaka Dr. Stephen Opunin, yaka Aya Gungu, na yaka Dr. Kessel Atoforsen, na yaka Japa Enho Ensensem, Uresiama and Newakoye government former deputy Bank of Ghana governor, and they omo ayi ni cases in the free honum. Among for Edwin Aya yomo se sama ban na abade na microphone ho de ane me emmo ehu ensan wo mo na maminti wo ye lawyer onimo mra no se de mra na kasam na ka na minti from your perspective, how do you see these things?
Normal with Africans, but elsewhere in other jurisdictions who's are the way be very normal. And
normal
with Africans.
But is it right?
That is the point. Whether it is right or not, that is the point. But it can never be right that a state. It was not MPP that was prosecuting those people.
Yeah.
It was the state that was prosecuting in the interest of the state. Eluntina, yemra no mo article 880 na ekire se ye de tumi a ye de ebokọ aduni nyina ahye mining sa. And that 2 minutes shall be exercised only by the Attorney General. Any other person who will be given an authority from Attorney General to prosecute or for and on behalf of Attorney General. And what there you work only for the interest of the state. And it's a state, eka say obi afa kwan bi so amoma na boka say the kwan do bi boni pa no. Na say liko jina mra animu a. Na state fight na bre bi so. Na saa enipa a wojina state na namu na as an Attorney General se na ban free ho na sa ban foforo ba state ni free ho. It is the same state that we have the interest of that state. It is Attorney General neba next one also be representing state na. The little you can do is to prosecute the matter to its full logical conclusion. Na court to determine the rightness or otherwise of the independent guilt and so diffu and only for na court na determine. So over here for time obia na o minor bono kwan do bia o court bia NDC time 2009 omu bia ni ho a NPP ba apemu or discontinue case
Yeah.
They all fought their matter to the full logical conclusion.
Okay.
Emma court in a jai obia as a court jani bia the person won on merit kwadwom piani num rekubro be no ne ade obia court ko eko kan na sem di dipem no ko ni fie nti o ma ne koye se me waban mu na me di boni mpo ne se ye de me court a mitimi twentwen so a frustrated system na mama ban sa ba. The only thing I say the government or the Attorney General will discontinue the case. Yes, to discontinue the case o ho kwan eyemra a eno so yemra na hyehye de ama o say oh who can so discontinue case be a one trade the our discontinue. Now the rationale behind that policy is that there are matters that are of national security or national interest.
Okay.
Inti no ene mebu ho a emechirichirim. Yama say to me na asem we mean to aso. E bi kura evidence a be solicit na say who's a court your public inti say evidence bi okura de to bia public it will go against the national interest and the state security. Inti ene mebu ho a yama kwan say utumi mu no under section 59 of I think act 30 no utimi ekose adewi mini interest be meant to us and then branch shall say trade into our own to us o kan waka enti do oba no uni interest our esiama dim uni interest wo puni dim uni interest wo japa dim obia o court be any interest so everybody is exonerated na enye nwanwa the people in their political tradition enye nwanwa emranti a omotena dem radio so omo Chief Justice at the time, they were convicted by the Supreme Court. The president at the time, who is now the president now, His Excellency John Mahama, almost prerogative of mercy, Jai will be a man who and the one say, na point TB, na prosecutor no about no say, mini interest munjai.
I see.
And the man ye nya kakra go win interest no we and also the person whose name was dragged into disrepute so court acquitted na and then who say yes he has now been acquitted but this is the person you discontinue the case and appointed him to the highest office as far as banking is concerned, the highest office of our banking. And the cases, the charges are on the bond, some of which were dishonest behavior and all that. Na even Bank of Ghana for so person a rural bank, even board of director. The kind of investigations they do are about you. Even primary school they will go there to investigate you. They will BNI or now NIB will follow you everywhere. Because you want to be board of director of even a rural bank, to be a governor of all the banks in Ghana, governor of Bank of Ghana. Now, this person, and you will be a when do a bonus say why you see when in who you may be more and you see. Court when Jenna Semumu near and we anchor said there be. Kwadubo for near sem and I was some other tone so went to me and I went to me and Chrese and pa asem the tone so no sanity went to me a munufo. I'm a court to a yano. Name what discontinue ordinary court now. Then we are all here watching it. Yeah, well, Ubia Article 296 of the Constitution. I say Ubia ebe mount to me or pe so power of discretion, Biano. You do so not capriciously. You should be candid, you should be fair in discharging that duty. And a woman say, Mrama, who can say, or Casse, meant to also there. And so, would that send a good signal to the people of Ghana, to the Republic, the image of the country, and all that? I would have wished some man pursue the case to the full logical conclusion. Court acquitting and say, Assembly no for. So be it. But the person who in the middle of trial, and somewhere else we all heard it, we all have seen it, the evidence the prosecutor is showing and all that. You discontinue the case and appoint him to the high officer. Or mind the 2 million they are showing them. At the end of the day, one guy who say 4 years never soon.
Anyway. Right, you can say no. Can there be any situation you come remember, say for want of ABI evidence and I say be binti, you discontinue a case apart from being politically motivated in other ways?
Oh, you see, until Namrano classes, I would discontinue and trade until I discontinue.
Okay,
don't even tell the reason.
Menka
and can't. You are not obliged. You are not under any obligation to give reason why you are discontinuing the case.
Okay.
Only
to be and
be and show such trading. what discontinue. Kebia over no because for want of ebia evidence ebia say and I be in the interest of the state, and I say from ABCD we saw it to be political persecution, not prosecution and all that. But Mrano Krase what they meant. If you deem it appropriate to discontinue, just discontinue.
That Mrano, Yensan Fanto, a Yensen review. Is it the right thing to be done? I'll say, son, was here, you know, and I say, Akoya Ghana and Akoya Africa and Yenfanasa.
I think that there is good reason for it.
Okay.
You see, on mine at the honor, and yes, in Bianes will be RTB.
Yes, in
There are things that should not, that is not even good for public consumption.
Okay.
Wow, minor in the security of the state, the foundation of the country, and yes, in Bianes will be TB, and then you be Bianes will be Hunubi. And until a document be or cry and say, Okas will be in farmer media dance or quarter. Say any panel or home crimes of a document wing. A document as a me piene moon 7 about Montina, M1 or minor security, M1 or minor bambo, and then or minor count conti, made the bar a ye. Supreme Court on quite a bit may determine, say, sir, document with Fabra near.
Okay.
So, as all the bar, either you are to produce that document or not. The court will have to make that determination. Okay. Until BBNS will be TB. And in many people had the rationale of this provision was that there could be situation where an evidence to a matter a bit me ama threaten the security of the country. As some people me see court. By the time I'm before court, na a crew bear me and Sunday them.
Okay.
Nen to kwesi hu kiti. Obehu tribe mienu ade to kwa bom, obehu community mienu ade to kwa bom, obehu region mienu ade to kwa bom. It will turn to civil war. Because asembia kopie baabia sa asem no se ya mena mpia kasa asem we say emba enti na obetimi nso adi asem no successfully nso a you should be able to produce evidence to that effect. Enti the other can say if that is the case they are now I am not
interested
in prosecuting the matter. There are so other circumstances under which and until them rana man no kwan say or prosecute matter be na say asem no Osusu say in the interest of state or no only interest be wait me discontinue. I know that you can do it, but not on this political score. As in Obi I didn't call evidence are there, leading evidence on be and the state now a can then call you know the agent of that state you know and assistant state in sign and the interest of the state will not also change because the interest of the state in say or minor. That is the only the interest of the state. It is a agent of the state or now all of a sudden the interest of the state in also then there's a problem.
Okay.
Because the interest of the state should be one.
Okay.
And that is why Americans say they don't have permanent friends. Neither do they have permanent enemy. Okay. But they have permanent interest.
Anyway.
Because their interest would never shift. Every day, our interest is about is to make America great, America super nation. Our interest, I don't know. But they can, you will not, or you are more down for them. Tomorrow you can be their bitter enemy. If your doings or your actions and inactions conflict with any of their interests. And nothing or mine, any say interest, SSA. I say interest ni jina fako. Name the other variables no. And the bit me as the actors of the state agencies, ministers, bit me as BBI, but the interest will not change. But unfortunately, in our side of the country, Ubo say interest no SSA in accordance with who is the agent of the state at that time. And no my idea and different.
Anyway, my main message is not for